There are many time management systems out there. Just look around the web and you can find a lot of them, each of which has a set of guidelines that say if you manage things this way, you will save a lot of time. My viewpoint on that is that time management is very personal. We all have our different styles. We have our different preferences for the way we work, and we all work in different situations. Therefore, a time management system has to be adapted to your particular way of working. And therefore, it pays to consider a lot of different things when you're trying to put something together. Nevertheless, let's take a look at a time management system that I've described on the next page, and this will perhaps give you some ideas of how you can put together your own. Okay. A big, messy sketch chart, but I think we can work our way through it. Let's focus on the thing that's called BHAGs down here in the this sort of wavy line down at the mid-bottom page. A BHAG is a big, hairy, audacious goal. Jim Collins, one of the great writers of management books, coined that term, I think, a few years ago. But really, these are the big goals that you want to accomplish in your life and job. You should write those things down and find a way to put the implementation on your calendars. If you follow that arrow over to the block that's called Strategic To-Do List, then this Strategic To-Do List is a list of everything you can think of that needs to be entered into your master calendar for the year, the month, or whatever time frame you want to consider. It should consider events like celebrations, birthdays, those kinds of things, parties that you know about, like vacations, big items, and projects. Then anything else you can think of, you need to be reminded on your yearly or monthly calendar. So given that, how do we translate that eventually into what do I do today to get this done? Let's start with projects. A project is something that has multiple steps to it. On a personal front, you might be getting married in June. That getting married is an event on the calendar, but it is also a project. It takes steps to get ready, to plan a wedding. So you need to develop a project plan, which has all the various steps to get ready to be married and to walk down the aisle that day. There are various tools for this, from project planning tools to just making a list of items. But to get that done, you should make a list of everything that has to be done, who's responsible for getting it done, and how long that particular item might take. It's nice to plan that in sort of one-day chunks, because a one-day chunk is something that fits nicely on a calendar. If you look then at goals, those big, hairy, audacious goals, they also need a plan. And if you write down, for instance, in 2013, I'm going to lose 30 pounds, then how are you going to do that? You need a plan to get that goal implemented. A methodology for doing that would be a goal sheet, and a goal sheet is simply a mechanism of writing down all the obstacles to meeting that goal. That might say by the end of March, I will weigh 170 pounds or something. What are the steps for doing that? The goal sheet can help you plan that. Once you've done a project plan and you've done the goal sheets and laid out the various steps and have a date by each of those steps, then you can fit those into the master calendar. You can write the detailed steps one by one into the master calendar for getting all those things that you know need to be done during the year. The calendar then, if you use an electronic version, nicely translate those into weekly plans. But then other things go on that are going to affect your weekly plans. New things come up, and you're going to need to adjust the weekly plan based on what are the new adjustments that need to be made that come up from your job or your life as you go along. And therefore, you see this curlicue thing up at the top of the page called New Items. New items will be generated, and those need to be considered in the weekly plans. In the weekly plan, you can look at each day and write the major priorities, the top 3 things you have to accomplish each day into that weekly plan. And then after you've done that, after you've planned the week, then you can translate that into your daily plan. And the daily plan, of course, sorts all those various to-do lists into what is urgent, what is important, and what are not urgent and not important, the 4-block diagram from the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. So one of the things that constantly has to work here is the priority evaluator, which is always constantly looking at how the various things that have to get done fit on the priority list. If a new item comes in from your manager, for instance, or one of your colleagues, then one of the things you have to ask is, how does this fit with the priorities that I already have? You ask me to do something, and this is a project step that I need to get done today, but this is a new thing you've asked me. How do I trade those off? You need to have a conversation to help you make that decision. Another thing to consider is the day designer. What does a typical day look like? What are the routines that you have that fit into your daily plan? What does your energy cycle look like during the day? What are the external forces that affect that daily plan? You might decide that the best way to get email done is to spend the first 30 minutes of each day looking at the key emails, answering them, and then move on to other things during the day. So depending on your work needs or your life needs, you need to consider how to spend your day. What is the right chunk of time that makes the best sense for you for your own efficiency? Is it 50 minutes? Is it 30 minutes? What is it? And how does your daily routine at work, the processes you have to implement at work, how does that fit into your calendar? All those things need to be considered. So this is some of the considerations in designing your time management plan. And then, of course, we have the question of technology. What kind of technology would implement a system that looks like this? Well, you could do it with paper. The paper, of course, can have master calendars, weekly plans, and such. But also, the new technologies such as iPads, iPhones, other types of devices, depending on your choice, all have calendar programs, all have different other apps that can help you implement your system. But the important thing is to make them all work together in such a way that you have a system that is easy to use and one that you will use for your own efficiency. For more information, I'm Grant Tate from The Bridge Ltd., Grant at thebridge-ltd.com. So give me a call if I can help you, or send me an email, and good luck. Hope this works well for you.